Mm-hmm.
It's okay to be broken. It's okay to laugh and cry. 'Cause when you try to see the problem, that means you figured and you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking not ready, but I'm telling you, baby, yeah, get up and get out. Get up and get out. Yeah, and you can say that I'm crazy, that you think you're not ready, but I'm telling you, baby. And you can say that I'm crazy, that you're thinking already.
And now it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to UnMasked Real Talk Live. This is the place where we get real about topics not often discussed openly. As you know, each week on UnMasked Real Talk Live, we give you an opportunity to share your thoughts and your opinions about our topic as we unmask it. You have our permission. You really do have our permission to get real with us here so that you can feel better, look better, and live better out there. Now, be sure to stay until the end to be eligible for our special raffle. Today's raffle is You Matter Thoughtful's Pop Open Cards. Ooh, I want that. I'd like to know if I can be in the raffle today. This gift is filled with little pop-up cards, pop open cards with messages inside, elegantly designed to brighten your spirit, catch your attention, and encourage you during seasons of waiting. And this is going to be important to you in a minute when we talk about today's topic. Every week, we do a challenge based on the topic of the show. Last week's challenge was becoming who you want to attract and keep. And each day, Cheryl and I provided a tip based on our weekly themes. Now, as we're building rapport and getting to know our members in this Facebook group on a deeper level, we are interested in your opinions about suggestions and our daily challenges, what we put into the Facebook group to help you grow, to help you feel better, look better, and live better. We want to hear from you. So what Cheryl and I have decided to do, instead of the weekly challenges that we do for this week, we're going to create a poll and ask you only 5 questions, just 5 questions of our community. And we're asking you to please complete this no later than Friday, September 23rd. Is that the 23rd? Yeah, Friday the 23rd. This will provide a powerful opportunity for Cheryl and me to learn more about you and how this group can be helpful to you to feel better, look better, and live better. What Cheryl and I don't want to do is put out all of these posts and it's not meeting your needs and you're not engaged in it or you're bored by it, because if that's the experience you're having, it's likely that we won't be of any value to you. And that's the last thing we want. The last thing we want is to be of no value to you. So we're really encouraging you, please fill out this poll. We'll post it. We're going to actually tag each and every one of you so that you'll complete the poll. It should only take you 30 seconds.
Yes.
So anyway, a small change to what we've been doing in the past with this Unmasked Real Talk Live. We just want to remind you that it's going to be viewable to the public and not just the private. Um, Although our postings will remain private to you, your postings will also remain private in the group. Okay. And then the last is, as you know, please post your comments below as we unmask today's topic because we want to be able to address whatever you say in the chat as we go along. Cheryl and I love to laser coach as we go along to add super value to your life. All right, Cheryl, take it away.
All righty. Good afternoon, everyone. And we, as every week, we have a hot topic. And this hot topic is what to do while you wait on God. I know that resonates with a whole lot of folk because it sure enough resonates with Pam and I. But it's a quote that we're very familiar with in Isaiah 40 and 31 that says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." Now, how many of us know what that scripture says, but we still struggle with that waiting?
Yeah.
Well, we want to give you some relevant statistics or definition or fact about waiting. Now, does waiting on God mean doing nothing? On the contrary, when we really think about it, wait means a state or attitude of watchfulness and expectancy, according to Webster's dictionary. It also means to serve. Just like a waiter, if you can imagine a waiter waiting or serving a table at a restaurant, well, the Webster defines patience as in a patient manner, with calmness or without complaint or hurry, despite delays or difficulties. Now I'm gonna pause there. Did you hear what I just said? Calmness or without complaint or hurry, despite delays or difficulties.
Can you read that one more time? Can
One
you
more
just
time.
read that one more time?
And Webster defines patience as in a patient manner with calmness or without complaint or hurry, despite delays or difficulties. Now, if we really wanted to have a real moment, we can actually all acknowledge that at some point, even perhaps for some of us right now, that's a struggle. But now, if you put these definitions together, you get this meaning: calmly serving and watching without complaint, despite difficulties and delays. And Pam said, could you read that again? Isn't it amazing that when we talk about waiting, that's what waiting looks like? Now, if we can have a candid moment, how many of us really struggle with without complaint despite difficulties? Or recognize that when we move around in frustration, a sense of impatience while waiting on God, there might be more to our trial than just the waiting. Now, one character that we're going to look at, now David's life, everybody's familiar with King David. David's life can teach us much about waiting on the Lord. As we recall, David spent a great deal of his time waiting. How many of y'all have spent a great amount of time waiting? David had to wait for something like, check this out, y'all, 15 years from the time Samuel anointed him to the time he actually became the king over Judah. It was, check this out. It was another 7 years before David was anointed king over all Israel. So if you add 15 and 7 together, that says 22. And when we think about it and we put this in real terms for us right now, some of us have been waiting for some stuff for a long time. And we say waiting is supposed to be without complaint, despite the delays or the length of time that we have to wait for something to happen. Well, how David handled this more than a 2-decade delay is indeed something that challenges us to really think about what we do while we're waiting on God. Now, here's some signs if you're struggling, because we asked a question earlier, how many of you struggle with waiting? Well, here's some signs that when we're struggling with God or waiting on God, what it looks like. We question whether God hears us.
Come on now.
Yo, JC, do you hear
Come
me?
on.
Question that. Saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit, might I add, still questioning, does he hear us? And the other thing we do, we question our faith or sense of self-worth. Well, maybe it's something that I did, or maybe I'm not believing like I'm supposed to believe, or maybe I'm being punished for something. Many of us struggle with that. Also, we feel a sense of urgency. Come on, JC, when you gonna do this? I've been waiting 32 years. I've been waiting 40 years, and you still ain't did anything, forgetting that he's in complete control. The fourth thing is we beat ourselves up when things don't get done when we think they should. Ooh, that used to be me. That used to be me. We beat ourselves up because we think things are not getting done. And lastly, we feel like we missed out. Because he ain't moved when we thought he should be moving, we feel like, well, we just missed out. So we want to really open up this conversation, and we want to have some real talk because we don't want anybody in our space, in our community. We want you to get ugly in here. We want you to open up and share how that struggle is for you, because the reality of it, as long as we struggle with this thing, we can cause delays unnecessarily because we're not serving as we should. So when we ask our unmasked question, because we want to open it up, really, how are you waiting? Are you waiting from a perspective of serving? Are you waiting from a place that you're complaining? Or are you waiting in a place that you're just like, I'm ready to give up. I'm just ready to throw in the towel because ain't nothing happening. JC don't hear me. I don't feel worthy. This thing needs to happen like yesterday or else. Where you at? Talk to us. Where you at? When you think about that waiting, because when we come together, ladies, and if there's a gentleman out there, when we come together with our topics, we feel led spiritually to talk about something that's real. And this waiting is real. It's real. Kayla said, "Did you hear me, God?" Just like about, yeah, did you hear me? How many of us yelled at him? Did you hear me? It is so real. So Pam, what's coming up for you when we think about this waiting?
It's so interesting because when you brought this topic up, it's like, I think we should talk about this at our next Unmasked Real Talk Live. I was like, I'm not feeling it. It's like, I don't think so. But then the more you talked about it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is exactly where I am. I am waiting. And you said, where are we in the waiting? I am tired of waiting. I need JC to do not one thing, but at least 6 things. And I feel like I've been waiting for over a decade for this to manifest. And you said, where are we? I'm sister girl. This is Unmatched Real Talk Live.
It's Real Talk Live.
I'm tired of waiting. Okay. There you have it right there. I'm gonna keep it real, everybody. I don't have something profound today to say to you about mother is tired of waiting.
She said, did y'all hear what she said? She said, mother is tired of waiting. And you know what, Pam? That is so real, because while there might be areas in our life that we feel like I've just kind of moved on, but I would go as far as to say all of us are at a place, there's something that we're still waiting and that we're believing God for. But the transparency of in certain areas, it's like you're tired. Like somebody might be tired, or somebody might be ready to throw in the towel and just give up. If I look at, there's several areas that I could say that, I've seen God moving, and there's some areas that I'm still at a place that I'm waiting. But there have been different stages. I want to share, there's been stages of the waiting. I've experienced the waiting, like I'm tired. I'm ready to blow it all up. I'm just ready to just blow. And I've had those stages of waiting where I'm just ready to throw the towel and just give up. But then there's those stages, okay, God, if you moved over here and you did that, and you moved over here, as much as I might not like a specific area, the waiting is getting to that place of learning the importance of serving while I'm waiting. And that has been a discipline, because I got one situation. It's been, let's see, King David had 22 years. I would say I'm probably going roughly up on like 13 years.
Okay.
But that waiting was difficult.
And I was just thinking about something you said, that you're learning to wait in servitude. And sometimes when we get tired of waiting, we just make our own thing happen for ourselves that may not be what God would want for us. But because we're tired of waiting, what's the story in the Bible with somebody help me with who's the man? Isaiah? No, not Isaiah. Abraham. Abraham's wife.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So they're like, yeah, we're gonna bless you with a child, and she was tired of waiting. So she's like, go lay with so and so. and let's have this child that God has been saying we're going to have for a long time, and it ain't happening. And that is sometimes my worry in the I'm tired of waiting. Let me go make my stuff because I can make stuff happen, right? I'm an executive, I'm smart enough, I have the background, I can just go make stuff happen. But then I may completely blow it up and completely move out of God's will and miss what God has for me that's going to be far better than what I could have crafted for myself.
You know what? My sister just opened up the Pandora box because we already got the next topic. Somebody shared a topic, but we got another one because what she just tapped into, when we get tired of waiting, then control steps in. That we will be like, I'm gonna control it then because I'm gonna go create something else. And everything she just now said is exactly what happens when we take control of something instead of trying to understand while we're in a season or a place of waiting. When we go try to control stuff that are out of our control, we lose control, and that's where that blow up comes up. And then guess what? We got another situation going on. Not only are we tired of waiting, we done blew some stuff up there. Now we got okay, God, how you gonna fix this? And he looking at us saying, but I didn't tell you to do that. You did. So what happens is that when we really get real about waiting, it is something that it impacts, it affects all of us. But learning how to wait God's way. And that's why the whole thing would really check out how you waiting, because we've been there.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna be fake about it. We've been there and had those struggles.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I love how you framed it when you opened up this that waiting isn't like this is really helping. I hope it's helping our ladies today. It's really helping me. But waiting is not inactive. It's not just waiting. It's actually action.
Yes.
Waiting is an action word, although it sounds like an inaction word, because you're being patient, you're serving, you're like one of the things with David in the story of David that I love is that after Samuel said, "You're going to be the king."
Yes.
David didn't immediately get back in the caravan, as I've heard one minister say, and ride off with Samuel to the palace to become the king. What David did after he was anointed king, he went back into the pastures and kept taking care of the sheep and goats and the bears and the coyotes and tilling the soil as he was doing before he was anointed. Yes. Which says to me that waiting is part of keep doing whatever God has already told you to do. You know what God has already called you to do. So just keep doing that until God moves the next thing out of your path so that you can go to the next level. And that can be hard because once you know you're anointed, I'm okay. I'm ready to stand on my stage, my platform of speaking and singing. Where is it? Where is it? It ain't her, and it hasn't been her for a long time. But it really does require us to keep doing what you've been doing in honor of what God has called you to do until God opens the next door, takes you to the next step. Yes. I said it. Didn't I say that like I'm experiencing it? I know I just said that like I'm experiencing it. I'm not.
But the thing about it is just keeping it real. Pam, I wanted to just kind of share some of the comments that I see in the chat. Someone said, when we open up asking the question, somebody said, so that resonated. And then somebody said, me. And then somebody said, hey, did you hear me, God? Just like Habakkuk. And sometimes we're in that place, waiting impatiently at times. I'm waiting to see I'm waiting to see with what's next with uncertainty. So those seasons when we're not sure, waiting. I'm waiting to see what's next with uncertainty, waiting with expectation also, knowing that his answer may not be, here go the biggie, what I want to hear. It might not be what he wants to do, but if we're waiting and we're waiting on God, then we have to wait for his instruction. And somebody said, I don't mind waiting on the Lord. And that's the place, that's ultimately the place where we want to be. But as you just were talking about, we were talking about the serving, it is so important. And I just kind of, something you were saying earlier, and it just kind of dropped in my spirit to share. That's why we have to be careful how and what we hear too, while we're in seasons of waiting, because a lot of times we have people want to come and say, girl, you need to be doing such and such and such. I heard the Lord say you need to be doing. I have no problem whatsoever with somebody sharing with me what the
Mhm.
Lord has said. But we have to be careful what we hear, because that doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. So you got
Mm.
people walking around mad at God because somebody told them something because they thought it was going to happen immediately and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So they're like, well,
Right.
no, he has an appointed time. So we have
Mm.
to, when we think about again that waiting, David was earmarked to be king, but it was 15 years before it came into fruition. Somebody
Mm.
tells you something that they heard doesn't mean it's going to happen just like that. But again,
Yes.
we got to be so careful what we do, how we move forward as we hear things and while we're waiting on God. So this topic has been
Yeah.
one that was like really, really timely, really
I
timely.
want to make a comment about the person who said waiting with expectations, also knowing that his answer may not be what I want. And sometimes the answer is no, sometimes the answer is not yet. And those two can certainly bring up a whole lot of stress. The no, what do you mean no? And the not yet, what do you mean not yet? I'm ready right now. But I think about how important it is that God gets us ready for the big stuff he has for us. And the waiting period is getting us ready for the big stuff that we want. We may be praying for the small stuff, not
Yes,
knowing that God wants that for us,
yes,
but much on a 10 times better, a
yes.
100 times better scale. So I may, I'll be honest, like, I've been waiting on my imperfectly perfect partner. Been waiting on him for over 10 years. Don't know where he is, but I can show enough go and get somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can go to the local bar, mhm, order my margarita and my glass of wine too. So I have two, so I can be there for a while and pick up some cool dude and call him my man, right? I could do that. But he may not have any teeth and he may not have a job. But what if I wait on God and the man for me is a senator who has done amazing things in this world, in this life, and he's the one for me, but I need to be prepared to be the elegant love of his life because we're going to be going to balls and flying to countries and speaking in front of people. Like, I need to be prepared for that, right? I don't have to be prepared for the man with no hair, no teeth, and no job. You see what I'm saying? Uh-oh,
Mm-hmm.
am I stuck?
No, 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 no. You're
Oh,
no, you're not stuck. You're not stuck. Or
okay.
I love what you said, but I want to add something else to that. I love what you said. Or somebody put in the chat the preparation, and the trust that God is custom. He's customizing that man that can love the design of who He made you to be
I
with
love
the
that.
fullness that will just make you complete. Because like sometimes we have in our mind, even like he got to be this, he got to be that, he got to be. But think about it from this perspective. God knows his daughters, his beautiful
Mhm,
queens that he's made. He's like, no, I'm
mhm.
customizing somebody that's going to be able to love you the way I desire that he loves you. And
Right?
so we look at that again. It's all about that aspect of waiting and what we're going to do while we're waiting. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at it's 1:53.
Oh, darn.
We
We
got
gotta
to
move on.
takeaways so we can do our raffle because somebody need that
Okay.
box today. Somebody
Somebody
needs.
need it.
Well, we got three powerful takeaways. We really could give you a whole lot more, but we picked three. But we have three takeaways of what to do while we wait on God. The
Mm,
first one is don't waste the wait. Get that.
mm,
Don't waste the wait. What often looks like a setback is actually a setup. Rest in
mm.
God confidence that God keeps his promises. If he made you a promise and you've been believing and trusting him for something, just watch how you're waiting in the wait that you don't waste the moment.
And that leads to number two, trust while waiting on God. Trust while waiting on God. Waiting on God is a mind game. It's finding a confident peace in our minds and in our hearts and in our souls, knowing we can trust God with
Yes,
our circumstances. When the negative chatter whispers, God has forgotten you, or God doesn't care about you, or God loves so and so better than you, and you just want to give up, don't believe it.
yes,
It is a lie. Trust that his timing
yes.
is perfect.
Yes, yes. And the third one is joyously serve others while you are waiting. Recognize that God's expectation is that we serve others while we're waiting on him. That doesn't mean that we stop, that we keep on serving. And if I could pause and we can have a vulnerable moment right now, right
Yes.
before this chat, my sister had a situation and we had to wait and believe that God would equip us to move forward in the way that we've moved forward. And in our waiting, sometimes when things look like they're completely going to the left, if we wait on God and trust him, Pam, I'm just sitting back and look what God has done in this space in this last 25 minutes. That's the power of what happens when we wait on God with trusting, holding on.
Oh, you mean when I showed
Yeah,
up with my
yeah,
issues
yeah,
before the show? Oh
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But let me tell you something
Come on.
that was important in the waiting.
Yes.
And I hope that this is something that resonates with everyone listening, and that is that the waiting, we need people to pray us through the waiting.
Mm.
Because that's what you and our producer did for me before this show launched. Y'all prayed for me. And sometimes we do. I'm sure there were people praying for David as he was in the waiting. We need people to pray us through because sometimes waiting is hard and we do want to give up. We need not go through this waiting alone. We need not go through this waiting alone.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right, Kate. So let's get to the raffle now.
Yes.
Um, so our raffle, as I said, Kayla, you ready? The raffle, You Matter Thoughtfuls pop-up open cards. I hope my name is in the raffle here. This gift is filled with cards and messages inside, elegantly designed to brighten your spirit, catch your attention, and encourage you during seasons of waiting. Let's see if Pam's gonna get it. Let's see, Pam. That is not my name.
Then again.
Oh, or maybe that can be Spin Again. I'm gonna change my name to Spin Again. Okay, let's try it again. Ooh,
Juliet. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
I have Juliet's information. So Juliet will be mailing it out to you. Congratulations.
That's great. Oh my goodness. I think Juliet is a new
She's a new
viewer, right?
Yes.
Oh, congratulations to you. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, we just want to remind you, ladies, please. We're going to drop the poll that we're creating for you because we would love for you to answer it because we want to know how we can better serve you in this group. How Cheryl and I, with our expertise, our knowledge, our heart, our passion, our love for you, can better serve you in what you're trying to get to in God. Even if it's in this waiting time, we want to participate with you in the waiting so that you can feel better, look better, and live better.
Yes.
So remember to look out for the poll and for your input. Next week, we'll unmask another topic. Make sure if you want us to address a topic, put it in our Facebook group, tag us, let us know. Until then, we love you all so much. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
Yes. And shout out, I see Dale Sharpley here. Shout out, welcome. Yay.
Yay.
We love you all.
Love you. Bye.
Next week.